You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. I'm Laura Natoli.
And I'm Holly Silva, and we are best friends since birth turned multi-passionate entrepreneurs and co-owners of Chores and More, a successful service-based business where everybody is treated like a best friend.
Welcome to our show where tactical business education meets fun and real conversations about this wild journey called life.
Get ready to be inspired. Grab your headphones, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up.
What is up, Hustled Up fam? Welcome back to another episode of Hustled Up. We are your hosts. My name is Laura.
And I'm Holly.
And I know we missed you guys a couple of weeks. I'm sorry. We are some busy business besties. And, I just got to own it. I almost said another B word and I had to refrain myself. But I know. So we missed a few weeks. I'm going to own it. We did. But we are here and we are back. And as always, we are better than ever. And y'all are in for a treat. But before I dive into anything about today's episode, as always, you know I have to do it. If you're loving this podcast, which I found out this weekend that a few people are loving this podcast and I didn't even know about it. People came up to us this week and said, I love your podcast, and I did not even know it. So if you are loving it, we would so appreciate either a 5-star review wherever you're listening, a little love note, or just slide into the DMs and just say, hey guys, love your podcast, because really that motivates us to keep showing up, keep providing you with free business education, and it really just puts such a big smile on our faces. So we would love to hear from you if you are a listener. All right, let me catch my breath because y'all are in for a treat. We have an amazing episode geared up for today because we are on fire while also being very, very tired because we just got back from CBF retreat. And I know we always do a little recap episode after one of our events, the Cleaning Business Fundamental events, but we wanted to do something a little different this time. We wanted to talk about imposter syndrome because I know we've done a few episodes on this topic. If you caught the episode with Coach Kathy, which if you didn't, go listen to it, she's a queen. But we talked a lot about our imposter syndrome and how it really holds us back at these events. And we really feel intimidated to approach people. But let me tell y'all, we have been slowly coming out of our cocoon and just shoving that imposter syndrome to the side. So I figured let's talk about it for anybody who is still dealing with imposter syndrome, some tips on how we got over it and what that was like for us. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
Are you tired of spending your entire weekend cleaning when you could be going out to brunch with your girls?
First of all, I love brunch. And second of all, yes, there are so many things I could be doing instead of cleaning my house on the weekend.
Oh yeah, like playing video games.
Or watching a movie with the kids.
Going on a date with your significant other.
Taking your dog to the dog park.
Going to the movies.
Solving world hunger.
Yes! Exactly. So this is why it is such a good idea to call up Chores and More for your deep and recurring cleaning needs.
And do you want to know something really, really cool?
What?
If anybody mentions Hustled Up when they call to book, they can receive up to $100 off their deep cleaning.
Up to $100 off. What are you doing still sitting there? Pick up the phone now, mention our podcast, and never have to spend your weekends cleaning again.
Simply go to choresandmorellc.com. You can fill out a request quote form there, or give us a call, send us a text, 631-397-0177. It is time to get back to doing the things you love. Let us take care of the cleaning.
All right, guys, we're back. And first of all, I just want to start off by saying this CBF retreat was amazing. I think that this was my favorite in-person event so far. Well, would you agree with that?
Yes, I really liked this one and the first live event just because it was so I was so in awe.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
But since being there and having gone to some different events now since then, this is definitely up there because it was just, we're starting to get to know people now and the connections are getting stronger. So I'm loving that part of it. The community feels stronger.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that was different about this trip too, which I do think that we're going to change, because Holly and I are always saying you need to balance work life and play. And we did a really good job of that this trip. We did fly out a day and a half early because it was in San Diego, California. And oh my goodness, we were like, we cannot go to San Diego. First time for both of us in California and not do anything. So we went a day and a half early. And I'm going to be honest, we didn't do much of anything. We literally sat by the pool pretty much the entire first day and a half before the actual conference started, and we needed it. I don't regret it at all. We didn't even leave the resort, not once this entire trip, and I do not regret it because I feel like Holly and I were at the point where we were so burnt out that sitting by the pool, having a few cocktails, and just relaxing was exactly what we needed. Would you agree? I feel like it launched us into the event so much better prepared with ears to listen to all the information we were going to take in. Having that rest day really, really helped.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. I feel like a lot of people were like, "Oh, you got to check out the zoo and go into like downtown Coronado and this and that." And as much as we would have loved to do all that, we just needed some time to do nothing because Laura and I both never take time to do nothing. We are two of those people, and we spoke about this as well on Kathy's episode, that we're always busy. Doesn't necessarily mean we're always productive. We're working on that. But like even when I am trying to rest, my brain is not relaxed, or I'm just constantly thinking about what I could be doing or whatever. And I think it had something to do with being somewhere different, like being in a different setting. I really feel like I was able to, because at home, like I'm thinking about all the things I have to do at home. Or, oh, I should get into my journal. I haven't journaled in a few days. Or, oh, I should like, I'm thinking about work just because I'm home. I'm just, I guess it's just how it is. Even taking like a rest day at home, it doesn't really work because I am constantly thinking about work. Like I just can't relax. So even though our business was open and things were running, I still was able to fully put my mind at ease. We even had a call out on the day that we were poolside. And my tipsy ass was like, I will figure this out. Everything is fine. And like I did. And it was great. And I just feel like being in like a different setting and like I was truly able to like actually relax. Like I hadn't felt that in a long time. Like something was just, I don't know if I'm like, I think I need to travel more, honestly. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking because I hadn't felt that relaxed in so long. And I was like, I always thought like I can't fully relax ever with the business being open. And that's not true. Like I was able to relax. People were still working, but I was like, everything is out of my control at this point. I'm in California. There's like, everybody has to do what they have to do. And me worrying is not going to help that, or me not resting is not going to make that any better. So even when we had the call out, I dealt with it, rescheduled some things, blah, 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 and then was able to just go back to drinking at the poolside. And it was like, it was magical, honestly. And I definitely feel like I need to travel a little bit more and like for fun. Like I need to
Yeah.
travel for fun a little bit more. And just that change of scenery really does make it so much better. And like, of course, being at like a resort with like a fancy pool, like that definitely helped. But like just being away from home, like really helped that too. So it was nice I definitely have no regrets about flying out a day and a half early and just taking time to just chill and be silly. and
Yeah, I think
and
we're
it
going to do that for
was
every event, honestly.
yeah. And you know what? Even with even with that relaxation time by the pool, we were still able to connect with some other cleaning company owners um, who own like literally $2 million businesses, some with smaller businesses. It didn't matter, but like it's still, a fun thing. Cause I'm always in awe of the people who own these huge companies. I'm like, I will be you one day. But we got to connect with a couple of people poolside, and we weren't always talking shop. Sometimes we are, but sometimes, you're just forming connections with people that are like so cool and so down to earth. And so that was really nice too. So it actually really did pay off to even go there a few days early just to kind of like put ourselves out there in front of more people and get to know more people and connect with them on a deeper level.
Yeah, I feel like there's something too about a relaxing environment, getting to connect with people, because we talked to a few people that we have spoken to before, but just being able to relax poolside, you really get to know somebody on a deeper level, which I feel like we
Yeah.
were able to do with some of the people that we did already know, but we're able to connect with even further. Because, when you're in a business setting, sometimes it's hard because when you're in a business setting, you're always talking shop.
Yeah.
So, relaxing by the pool, it's like, oh, I got to learn a little bit more about you. So definitely very needed. And another thing that I think we learned is that we don't always have to be in our office to be working. That was a big aha, eye opening moment for me because I always think I need to be in the office. I need to have my full desk, all my paperwork ready to go, all of my lead sheets and quotes I've done and everything. And that's not the case because we did carve out a little bit of time for work on this trip. Not much, but we did carve out a little bit of time for work. I went on the little balcony we had to make my morning sales calls. And let me tell you all, that 3 hour time difference was it, because I was able to wake up at 7 a.m. and make sales calls, but it wasn't too early for people on Long Island where we live. So it was really eye opening. You don't have to be stuck inside your office. If you do feel burnt out and in a rut, go to the park, go just outside your office, sit on a bench, just, get out of that same rut that you're in day in and day out. And that was a really big aha moment for me. So now I'm like, ooh, what other fun environments can I make sales calls from? Like, really?
Literally. I mean, with
Mm-hmm.
with a headset, you could even do it from somewhere that's a little loud. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
That's true. I was on my balcony, so I was trying to be respectful, and I was like, okay, so how many bedrooms and bathrooms is that total? Like, I was trying to be respectful, and it was tough.
Yeah, it was nice though. Laura was outside on the balcony. I had the door closed so that I wasn't interrupting her, and I was like at the, you know how like all hotel rooms, well, I don't know, at least all the ones we've been to have that like little desk with the mirror. I was just setting up shop there, charging credit cards, making sure we got paid, dealing with some scheduling things and all that. And we were both done working by like 10 a.m. California time. And we were like, okay, well, if anything comes in, like all the pressing stuff was done, cards charged, all that. So at that point, if anything pressing came in, we just dealt with it from our phones. Like when, one of our girls called out, we just dealt with it right on the phone. It was like so nice.
Yeah,
we
and
we
weird.
we tell them when we leave, like we tell our staff when we leave on a trip, because we don't have like a full office staff here running things. Like it's different. Like when we step away, we are putting our full trust into our team, which is why it's so important to build a strong, reliable, good team. But that's a topic for another day. Anyway, we can fully put trust in them. And, we were able to tell them we are not going to be here. We are going to be across the country. Do not cause any chaos. Do not call me unless it's an emergency. And, resort to writing on the Discord channel, which is what we use for our employee communication. Because our field manager or like director of operations, whatever she is at this point, she kind of does a
Just a
little bit of
little bit of
everything for
everything.
us.
Yeah.
She was like kind of dealing with things in the early morning, but overall chaos was minimal. Everybody showed up, and I knew everybody was going to show up except for the one call out, which the girl who called out is never sick. She's like one of our top players. Like, so I was like, oh damn, like terrible timing, but she must be really sick. Like, because we don't get those like bullcrap call outs that like a lot of companies I feel like probably deal with. So we're able to just step away and like really trust that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I mean, of course, I checked to make sure everybody was clocked in where they're supposed to be and stuff. But overall, it was like they just knew we were gone. They were okay with it. They did everything they were supposed to do. They didn't call us. Like it was just very, very, very easy and simple. Of course, we stepped into the office today and it's like phone call here, message there, this, that, and this, and I'm like, all right, leave me alone. But, but
It's amazing how people can problem solve when they have to.
Yeah, really. That's one of the things we'll be working on our end here. Because when we're not here, they suddenly know how to do everything themselves and they leave us alone. But, so it was really nice though. That was super nice. We were definitely refreshed and ready to go for the actual event, which started on Friday morning.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I know we wanted to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome today, and it felt really good leaving that event and knowing that we did some things that were outside of our comfort zone. Because if you know Holly and I, there's not a lot that's out of our comfort zone. I feel like Holly and I were very social people. We don't mind the spotlight. Like we're, very outgoing. But for some reason for me, and this is how I always try to explain it, like I'm a very extroverted person. I always have been. I'm not shy, but for some reason when it comes to people that are way more successful for me, all of a sudden I'm the shyest person in the room. Like I get so intimidated by people that are doing the things that I want to do that all of a sudden I'm shy. Where if it's just a social setting with strangers, like I will meet up with a stranger and talk their ear off for an hour and be their best friend. But for some reason, the dynamic changes when I'm amongst these cleaning business owners that have, $2 million, $1 million business. And I didn't feel that way this time. I don't know if it's just because we're becoming more familiar with people, or maybe we're feeling more confident in ourselves and where we're at in our business. But I honestly didn't even have to push myself outside my comfort zone because I didn't really have those imposter feelings this time.
Me too. And I remember last year at retreat, I approached her name is Angel. She's one of the coaches, and she owns a business with her friend, maybe best friend. They're very good friends at the
I think
very
they're
least.
best friends, yeah.
And so obviously they own a $2 million business. She's a CBF coach. And I was like, I need to meet this woman. I need to go up to her and I need to approach her and I need to say hello because I own a business with my best friend and we can just relate to her. So I remember I went up to her and I was like, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Holly, this, that, and this. And like, I felt like I was going to positively throw up. Throw up at that event. And I got back and I was like, I'm so proud of myself. I really stepped out of my comfort zone. I did this and I feel so good. And I also did not feel that this year. It was just like, I was saying hello to everybody. I added everybody on Facebook. And I think that I mentioned this on one of my recent Facebook posts. First of all, I just want to say, because I know we talk about revenue and how these people own these big businesses. Your revenue does not determine your success. That's number one. That is like number one. Like, yes, you want to make more money. You want to make a good revenue, but success to you could mean something very different. It could mean you have a very comfortable, like 500K business and you're still able to enjoy quality of life. And that's enough to make a living with your family and blah, blah, blah. Like, having a $2 million business might not be the definition of success for you, and it does not determine your value. So that's like number one, but I did not realize that at first. And I am one of those people who wants more revenue. That's just how I am. I want a freaking empire. I want to own the world, and that's just me. But not everybody feels that way. But when you do, it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, this person is making a lot more money than me. Her business makes more money, or his business makes a lot more money than me. I am not successful. I am so small, So I have to remind myself all the time that like my business's revenue doesn't really mean anything. I tapped my mic. I hope that the podcast didn't pick up on that. I tapped it with my long nails. Anyway.
Which everybody complimented this weekend. Oh my goodness. Literally, Holly's a superstar. Because if you don't know, which you should know, Holly does her own nails and my nails. And Holly got probably like 15 compliments on her nails this week.
Many. And now I can show you guys, it's a video podcast. I was like, I wanted some skeleton nails. I inverted them. This hand is so shorter. Cute. I am like, around here, I'm known for having one hand short. It's not even that much shorter anymore. But like, I need to function like a little bit. So I keep my left hand short because I'm lefty. Anyway. So thank you to everybody.
I had to shout that out. Because
any of the CBFers listening to this, thank you so much for the compliments. Love y'all. But I also do think that every person is valuable, and it's for something different. Everybody has a unique set of talents and a unique set of skills and a unique set of knowledge, and you have something worth sharing and putting out there. And when we went to our first CBF Live, I was like, oh my God, who am I with my little like 300K business? And I remember I was like fudging the numbers a little bit because everybody was asking me what our business revenue was. And I was like, it's 360. It was not. It was a little bit lower, I think. But either way, it was like, I was like making up numbers. And then I was like, I didn't speak to like hardly anyone. And our good friends, Kenya and Armando, who we've spoken about on this podcast, some local cleaning company owners to us, were kind of forcing us into their like little friend group. So we were forced to talk to people. But even in those groups, I was very quiet and I did not really speak to anybody. And I felt very small in a room full of like big people. And Laura knows, like, I cried a few times during that event because I just felt like I wasn't, like, something was wrong, or maybe I wasn't doing something right, or it was just imposter syndrome. Like, I didn't feel like I belonged there. I felt like I wasn't doing good enough, and I wasn't good enough to be there, kind of thing. And I have had to remind myself time and time again that I have so much to offer. And Laura has so much to offer, and even us together have a lot to offer because we have a unique business model, running it together. And, we have our own set of talents. Like Laura is the queen of sales, and my close rate is a whopping 0.
That's not, she's lying.
No, I'm not.
You have a 50% close rate because you've closed one of the 2 sales calls you did.
I didn't close it on the call though. Laura closed it on the follow-up. So I'm pretty sure that's her.
I picked up the phone when she called to say yes. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't know about that. But either way, my close rate is not very good. And, but I like to consider myself an expert, or at least pretty close to it. I'm really freaking good at branding. I'm good at
She's a branding
storytelling.
queen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But like, I'm not really humble about it. Like, I know that I'm good at it, and I proved it to myself sitting at the round tables at this most recent event. And I know what I'm good at, and I know I have value there. I know that I know my stuff when it comes to storytelling. I know my stuff when it comes to branding, and I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of my knowledge in that area. I'm learning a lot about marketing, and I just feel like I'm doing really well with it, and I love it, and I'm passionate about it. It's definitely like my zone of genius, and I don't really know much more now than I knew then. I probably know a little bit more. I mean, I'm always learning and stuff, but like, why did I ever think that I don't know as much or that I know less just because the revenue in my business is smaller? If anything, I probably know a lot more than people with bigger companies than me, because that's just my superpower. That's
Yeah.
like the thing I'm good at. You know what I mean? But I know freaking nothing about closing a sale. I don't know anything about that. I don't know a freaking thing about bookkeeping. Tried to do it myself. That was a mess. Shout out to our bookkeeper, Franklin Accounting, because she came into a world of shit when we hired her back
Oh
in
yeah.
July.
She did a cleanup, and we were like, "Girl, you're gonna need a deep cleaning of these books."
Yeah,
Like,
we gonna need a
honestly.
top to bottom
Yeah.
gold deluxe cleaning. Like,
Yeah,
that's
we had
what,
that
of these
bronze
books.
package ain't gonna do. You're gonna need a gold
It's
cleaning,
not gonna
include the
cut it.
windows and everything. Like,
I literally told her, I was like, girl, you gonna be in for a world of shit.
and she was ready. She was like,
She was like, I got this.
let me
Yeah, she
have
was
it.
nerding out over those numbers. I don't know a damn thing about that. So I'm not going to go ahead and like sit at the finances table and share my knowledge. I'm just not going to do that. But there are like, everybody has a unique set of talents, and everybody is valuable in their own way. And that's so important to remember. And I see all these people who are new in CBF, and I don't know for sure if they're feeling the way I felt. I could be projecting, but like, odds are there are probably some of them who do. And CBF loves to celebrate the successes of people who are achieving milestones. But sometimes it not hurts, but like maybe it makes somebody who's newer feel like, oh my gosh, I have a way to go, or like, I didn't do that. And that's that's not a good mindset. It's not how you should be thinking. But can we help it all the time? No. Everybody wants what they want, and they want the best for their lives. And maybe that's revenue. Maybe that's the green jacket that CBF offers. Maybe that's the gold jacket, or maybe that's just more friends because you're kind of feeling alone sometimes at your first event. You don't really know people. So there's different things that you want. And then you see other people having those things, and it's definitely harder. And I think for Laura and I, the biggest thing was just putting ourselves out there in the beginning when it was uncomfortable. And for me, it's still a little uncomfy. I'm definitely better now. A lot better, I will say. Like, I've really come out of my shell a lot. But Laura's even better at it than me. She was saying hi to people that I was like, who is that? She was like, I don't know. I just said hi. I'm like,
Then they smiled at me. I'm
or
just
she'll,
like,
or she'll know, and I'll be like, what? I don't remember meeting that person. Like, she's just good at
a
that.
creep.
But she says hello to everybody, and I'm like, girl, we are
I say
not.
hello to like strangers. I'm like, hi.
I don't know.
But that's how I am like with my life. Like,
So
honestly.
she forces me to come out of my
You call
comfort
me
zone.
what,
and
a
like,
happy ass?
yeah,
That's
you
who
are.
I am. I'm a
I call
happy
her a
ass.
happy ass. She's a happy ass. She just says hello to every single person. Like, I would not. You know what I do though? I do this, and I did it actually twice. I did it twice at this event. I did it twice.
What'd you do?
I purposely say something out loud to Laura so that somebody will overhear. I did this twice, Laura. I don't know if you know this.
I know the one time because she's so slick about it. I would never know. I would never know.
I was talking out loud about like some like apps like Slack and Discord and stuff to catch the attention of Derek Christian. He's one of the CBF coaches, and it worked. And we were talking like the whole way back to the room, and I did it in front of Aaron. I don't know if you remember, but I was like, oh, I hope we get into pros. And he was like, pros? I heard somebody say pros. Did you hear that?
No, I know that's exactly why he came over and talked to us. But no,
Why do you think I said, why did you think I waited until he walked by to say, I hope we get into pros this year?
I thought it was a happy accident.
No.
You little sneaky devil. I love it. I love it. You're always scheming. I love it.
If Aaron or Derek listen to this, they're going to be like, this idiot. But I have
I'm sorry, I'm like cackling in the mic. That is so funny. Because I was like, oh wow, I'm happy that we brought that up because we got to talk to Aaron and Jan, who was hanging out with Aaron, and they're both lovely. We had a great,
Lovely
lovely
people.
conversation.
But I see Aaron. Aaron got his green jacket. I know this guy is successful. I want to get to know him, but I have a hard time just being like, "Hey, I'm Holly. Nice to meet you."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna open a window and see if you
You're
climb through
so
it.
funny. And he
That's
climbed
what I
right
did.
through. He
Climbed
sat
through
right
it.
down, gave us a bunch of advice that we needed to hear. So
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
Wow.
But yeah, I did that on purpose.
You're so funny. I'm dead. I love it. You're so sneaky. I love it. But we got so much good information from him.
Yeah.
I
So
still
more
get intimidated too. Like, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. Like, I still, like, when I say I feel more comfortable, like, naturally, but I still get hella intimidated by
Yeah.
some of them. I really do. Because I want to
Yeah.
beat them.
Yeah. I also a lot of people will give you advice and they'll tell you certain ways to do things and they don't really want to hear your side of it or like your knowledge. Like sometimes people are like that. So I just kind of let them say what they want to say. And, I'll be like, okay, I won't always follow the advice, but either way, like, I just want myself to be in front of this person. Like, I want to be in their like line of sight. I don't know why I'm like that. I just want to put myself in rooms with, honestly, people who know more and people who have smaller businesses too. Like, I like helping people, but everybody, like I said, has something to offer. So even if I'm in a room with people who just started their businesses, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask them, what they're doing, how they're doing it, because they may know more. So, I want to do that. I struggle to just open up. So instead I bait them.
That is so funny. No, I get that because if I've never talked to somebody, then I would feel really weird being like, "Hi, I'm Laura." But like if you, that's so smart. Oh my goodness. Speaking of, also, like, Holly just let the cat out of the bag, even though I don't think a lot of people who listen to this podcast do know. But Holly and I did apply for pros at this event, which, if you don't know what that is, so Cleaning Business Fundamentals has different levels. So when you start your first year, which we may have mentioned this, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the first year you enter, you're in essentials. So you're learning the cleaning business fundamentals, essentially, making all the changes to your business. Second year, or third and fourth, you can stay in what's called momentum because you're building your business momentum for as many years as you want. But I do think you have to go through at least a full year of momentum, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I know you have to complete a full year of essentials, though. That I do know.
You have to be in that for a year. But then after momentum comes pros. And there's an even bigger one to that called elite. But one of our big goals was to join pros, which you have to be at a certain revenue amount. You have to be mop free. You can't be in the field cleaning anymore. You have to have somebody in the office helping you. So there's a lot of requirements, and we didn't know if we would hit them, and we did. So we asked Coach Beth, of course, had to get her approval. Are we mentally ready to join the pros? And she gave us her blessing. So we did it. And we're waiting to hear back if we officially got in, but fingers crossed. That was a huge step for us because, again, with going back to, I'm sorry, I just did it with my nails. Oh my God.
Long nails.
The claws. Going back to imposter syndrome, so Holly and I learned a really big problem that we have, which I'm sure we'll do some episodes on it, but we learned about a really big problem that we have in our business that we need to fix immediately. And we were like, I don't know, man, maybe we should wait until we have this problem solved until we join pros. Maybe we should just stay in it another year because we would have to wait a full year. Open enrollment is only in September. So we were like, oh yeah, maybe we'll just wait a year. And then we said, but why? Joining pros, we're going to be in rooms with people that are much, much more successful with us, that have much higher revenue, that have been through probably more struggles than we have because there's a new devil at every level. So why not get in that room with those big fish? Let's be the absolute smallest little guppies swimming with these sharks because they'll be able to help us solve this problem. So we said, nope, we're hitting the F it button. We're doing it. And we did it scared.
We did do
Coach
it scared.
Beth likes to say.
Yep. We did it scared. So, we had like a little bit of a hiccup in our revenue, and the only reason we think there may be any kind of kickback is because of that little hiccup in one of the months. Like our number dipped slightly, but we otherwise qualify, and we got that number back up. So it's not like we just fell and didn't recover. But I don't know how strict they are. I think we're in, but I do think we have to. I think we have to interview with some people, and but we did apply. So we'll definitely let you know when like there's an official announcement of that. But we did do it scared. There's the lay that
We got
they
our
give you when you
lay.
apply. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I got one too, but I left it at home in my suitcase because I haven't unpacked yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah, gosh, I have so much to do. But anyway, yeah, so we did do that. We did it scared, and I'm like so thrilled and excited. It's definitely talk about fighting your imposter syndrome, like because I feel very small
We
amongst
are
all
very
them
small.
people.
Compared to the pros, we're very small. There's a
Very
lot of
small.
million-dollar companies in pros. A lot.
Very small. We haven't been in that long. Like we haven't been in the program that long. I mean, we've been in the program for 2 years, but like not long enough.
No, a
It,
lot of people
not
stay in momentum for many, many years before going to pros, and that's fine because that's what they need for their business and their mindset. But I feel like Holly and I need a push. I feel like we're ready, and this is going to be the push that we need because, man, I wish I didn't want what I want. Like, I want
I
the green
know.
jacket, and then I want the gold jacket, and then I want her to make a new jacket for the next level. I want the purple jacket. Like,
I
so,
know.
and
I
I wish I
know.
didn't want that. And I think what you said, Holly, was so important because you need to identify what you want because that's going to change. You can't compare yourself to others with huge businesses or that get to spend a lot of time with their family because you need to figure out what you want and then make decisions and prioritize what you want.
Yeah.
And I want whatever jacket comes after the gold. That's what I
Really
want,
though. Really though.
you
I
know?
know. I'm not happy with a $500,000 business. I
Mm-mm.
want $1 million. I want 2 million. I want 10 million.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I want.
proud of the 500,000 business.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that. Which another fun fact, really to pivot real quick, we also learned that we're within only 5 to 7% of cleaning businesses ever make it to this size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're in the top 5 to 7%
Mind
of
blown.
cleaning businesses. Yeah.
That
Yep.
was a fun number to learn. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. It's really good. It's a big achievement, and I think that's also important, especially when it comes to imposter syndrome, is that you have to remember to celebrate those victories, no matter how small they are. Like you should celebrate your first, and CBF does this, and I love that they do this. You celebrate your first 5-figure month, you celebrate your first 6-figure quarter, you celebrate reaching 500K, you celebrate reaching your first million. Of course, that's the whole green jacket ceremony. You celebrate all of these things, and they have to remind us sometimes, like, hey, like keep track of your numbers and celebrate those small victories. Or even if it's a non-number victory, like the first time I didn't cry when I got a complaint,
Yeah.
pat myself on the back. Like that was
Yeah.
freaking amazing. Like you got to celebrate every little thing, like every little victory, and you have to remember how far you've come. Like the fact that I was in San Diego drunk on friggin' mojitos when a call out came in, I was like, it's fine, I'll take care of it. Like old me used to freaking lose my shit when people
Oh
called
yeah.
out because I didn't have systems in place to cover our butts in the event of a call out. And also, we were hiring assholes. Sorry, I'm getting like crazy now, but we were people who were calling out all the time with no reason, who just didn't show up. Like, we had all of that. And so they used to drive me nuts. But now I'm like, oh my God, I've come such a long way. Like, I've come such a long way to deal with like a call out or, just anything. Like, really, like, I mean, let me like slow myself down though. Like, I get bothered by things, but the like severity is so much less.
Oh yeah. Way less. Way less.
So much less. So you really have to like celebrate every single little win. And, every person who came up to us, and shout out to all my CBFers who did do this. We love you guys so much. For every person who came out to us was like, I love your podcast, or like, I love your social media. I love your videos. I was like, ugh, you're inflating me. I'm going to float away. But like, what a fun victory every single compliment was. Like, holy moly, I did, like, it's, for us, we don't have a huge social media following. We're not monetizing on this podcast, like, or anything, so we're very small, right? We're small. But people are listening and they're learning from us, from little old us, or maybe they're just entertained by our banter. I don't know. Either way, they are taking something away. And so for everybody who came up to us and said like, oh, I love what you guys are doing, it really was like so special. And I was like, wow, what a long way we've come. Like, we felt like such tiny little guppies in this big CBF pond. And now people are like, they know us for who we are. We even got a shout out on Advantage Day, which is the day before, the retreat event begins. It's like a extra paid day. We weren't even there. And we got a shout out for how we handle ourselves on social media. And I was like, am I a celebrity?
No,
Or
I almost
what?
died. I almost fainted. I was like, what?
We got some follow. It was so funny. Again, I had one too many mojitos. And all of a sudden, like, a couple of CBFers started following us on like TikTok and Instagram. And I was like, Laura, somebody's talking shit about us. And she was like, they wouldn't be following us if they were talking badly. And I was like, oh, they're talking good about us. Oh my God.
No, literally. And then people kept DMing us and they were like, you got a shout out. And I was like, what? And it was so nice. And honestly, it's a good reminder too, like, don't be afraid to give out compliments, or don't be afraid to tell somebody how you feel or if they inspire you, because you don't know how that's going to affect them. Right? Like, I feel like often people are so quick to talk bad shit about somebody, but if you have something good to say about somebody, go up to them and tell them, because it will make their day.
Yeah.
Don't hold it in.
You should compliment at least one person a day, at least. Every day. Every
Mm-hmm.
day. Because that will really, like, it means so much to hear that you're doing something right, or that they're inspired by you, whatever it is. Like, I was just eating it up. So thank you to all the CBFers who did that. You definitely helped me with my imposter syndrome as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I'm just even more excited for the next event, to connect with even more people.
Exactly. I'm so excited, and I hope that us telling you this and like opening up about our own I can't think of the word, like where you question yourself, like you're not confident in yourself. Self-doubts. I think that's it. But like, I hope opening up about that kind of helped you, I don't know, like see like that we all kind of feel it, and that we've all been there. I think everybody's been there at one point or another. Even Coach Kathy said that with her $1 million business, 1.2, whatever it is. And it's easy to feel small in a big pond, or a pond full of big fish, and it's even more important to remember that you do have something valuable worth sharing, and to stop hiding. Like, don't hide yourself. Put yourself out there. And I will say that every single person I put myself out there to has just welcomed me with open arms. Every CBFer, every elite member has truly like extended such a warm, beautiful, wonderful welcome. And in life, if they're not going to take that, then they're not worth it anyway. They're not worth your time. But you definitely have something valuable. You have something that is unique to you that's worth sharing with others, whether it's like a talent or a gift or a piece of knowledge or a skill set, whatever it is. Or if it's just your amazing personality. You know what I mean? Like, you have something worth sharing with others, and don't shy away from that, and own that, and be proud of that. And it doesn't matter if you started your business yesterday and if your gross revenue is $2 or $0 or $1 million. It does not matter. It does not matter. That does not determine how valuable you are. And people who are bigger, and I say that with air quotes for anybody who's not watching, you want to be talking to them anyway, because they are going to help pave the way for you if you've got bigger goals that you want to hit.
Yeah. Get in that room. Get in that room where you are the little guppy, and get in the room where they're willing to share. And then listen. I think that there's a time to give advice and there's a time to take advice, right? Because you don't want to always be talking, always be sharing, well, you should do it this way, or you should do it that way, blah, 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 blah. But you also don't want to not give anything back. You want to listen, but you also want to give back. That's part of why we do this podcast. Every time we teach, every time we share, we're also learning right along with it. And I know that's what the coaches say too. The coaches say, as I coach, I learn. So just be willing to give and receive, and get in the room where people are also willing to give and receive. That's the room you want to be in.
Yeah.
Or the sea, the fish pond, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Big lake. A big lake of fishies.
Get that big lake.
Gotta get in the ocean, man. Oh, that was good. Woo, I
Yeah.
feel great after
I know, I
after
feel
this.
jazzed. I was gonna go
Woo!
home and take a nap, but now I feel too jazzed.
I feel too jazzed for that jet lag, that California jet
Oh
lag.
my
Oh,
goodness. Yes, we took a red eye. Oh my goodness. I didn't sleep for 2 days. It was fine. It was fine.
it wasn't fine.
Um, but this is good. This is a good episode.
Good stuff. So if you guys are listening, I really want you to guys to like not be shy and connect with us. Definitely make sure you follow us on Instagram, Hustled Up Podcast. You can also find our personal socials in the description below. Laura is at Laura Anatoli, and I'm a bunch of different things. But if you search Holly and Silva, I will come up. And then also Chores and More to see how we do things on social media as well. Don't be shy. Like follow us, reach out to us, DM us, because we get followers, but we don't know who's who. So I really want you to like introduce yourself to us and say hello. You can always slide into our email as well. It's hustleduppodcast@gmail.com because we really want to get to know you guys. We'd love to have you on this podcast too. You know, if you're a fellow entrepreneur or if you're just like a goal getter, would absolutely love for you to come on and like chat with us. We are so fun to hang out with. It's so like casual. It's so cash. We keep it cash around here. So so we would love to connect with more of you, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you guys are here, but I need to know you're here. So go comment on our stuff, slide into our DMs, like just let us know that you're here and listening because it really means so much.
Yeah, for real. All right, well, I can't wait to get those messages from you guys. I can't wait to go open up that Instagram and see those DMs. But in the meantime, as always, go crush it this week. Tell Imposter Syndrome to take a seat, and we'll see you next time.